welcome back on Good Morning Artesia. We're broadcasting from Artesia General Hospital in Artesia. This is the Hospital Week and Nurses Week event that's going on, and I have promised everybody I am getting a haircut later today. People, you can quit complaining about my long hair. I'm trying to think the last time I let it go this long, and I was probably in high school.
Well, that was just, 5 years ago?
Back in the 70s when we were wearing bell-bottom jeans.
Oh, back in the 70s. Okay, yeah.
Stuff like that. Superintendent John Ross Null is with us, and good morning. Thanks for meeting us here.
You bet, Gene. This is a great idea to be out here this week, and sure excited about what our hospital has to offer, and appreciate the partnership that we have with our hospital and just what they do for our community. So glad to be here this morning.
I was going to say, over the years, there have been a number of partnerships that the Artesia Public Schools and Artesia General Hospital have been involved with.
There have. We've been very fortunate and continue to stay in good communication, and we'll see where that leads us in the future.
That's right. Well, let's. Have you started counting down the number of days until you're done at the schools?
Well, I may or may not know that number, but I will not reveal that number this morning. We're lots of great things going on as we wrap up this school year. After this week, just a couple of weeks left, and many things that conclude a school year. Of course, we have banquets wrapping things up, all of our AP testing, our semester tests, and senior banquet, baccalaureate, graduation. Other activities for our seniors to celebrate their accomplishment, and then also things getting ready for next year. Last night had something really good going on at all of our elementary schools. Went around and visited those schools last night, and we had a first grade ready meet the teacher evening last night, and first time to do it in that fashion. Before we had done it that week before school starts, and it was just really great opportunity for families to get into our schools and see what all we have to offer, and just be welcomed by our first grade teachers, by our principals, and so that was a really good evening. We appreciate all of those that showed up last night.
Did you have a decent turnout? I mean,
we did have a good turnout.
Great,
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's good. What were some of the common things that you heard being asked?
Well, I was in and out of all the schools just briefly, so I didn't stick around and hear all of the question and answer sessions, but I do know that there were scavenger hunts going on where they could given a list of things to try to go and explore and find in the school, and then the principals were available to just share some things specific to their schools and answer any of those questions.
Yeah, well, that had to be a lot of fun, and looks like that's something that'll probably continue.
I sure believe so. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
One of the other things you mentioned, the seniors, celebrating the end of their school year. This weekend is there's no school on Friday because I think it's spring
all sports day. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've had athletes competing in tennis, golf, track and field, baseball and softball all going on this weekend, so that usually takes up a pretty significant percentage of the student population.
It does, and that's one reason many years ago that our school board decided to incorporate into our school calendar this Friday being one of the days that we're not in school, because we have such a high percentage of our students participating in activities and athletics, and then their sponsors, their coaches that were out, and many of the substitutes have their own children that participate, and so it just made sense to have a day to take care of that, and where people can really go and relax a little bit and enjoy that. So we just want to wish safe travels and safe competition for all of those that are competing this weekend.
That's right. So it'll be a busy weekend. School board met on Monday night. What were some of the highlights from the school board meeting?
Well, one of the things that were certainly a highlight is we got to recognize some folks for their accomplishments and just show some appreciation to them. Each month in a partnership with Tate Branch and the Written in Red Foundation, we honor a success maker. One of our staff members that's been nominated for a Success Maker Award, so we recognize Tammy Houston, who's a second grade teacher at Yeso. Also, on Friday, May the 6th, the governor had declared Friday, May had put out a proclamation declaring Friday, May 6th as School Lunch Hero Day.
Okay.
And so we recognized our director of our cafeterias, Aaron Caldera, his assistant, Selena Duran, and on behalf of all of our food services staff members, recognize them at the board meeting. And then each year we give excellence in student achievement awards. And so Monday night we honored Mrs. Jennifer Humble, who's a teacher at the high school. Also, you hear her name regarding BPA and student council and other activities. And the primary reason that we honored Mrs. Humble was because throughout these last few years and the challenges that we've faced, she just was really intentional about making sure that Artesia High School's traditions were carried on. They may have had to look a little bit different for a period of time, but she just really made sure that happened. And then also our team of school nurses. And we taught this as Hospital Week, Nurses Week, right. And so we recognized our 8 nurses with Excellence in Student Achievement Awards as well. And so certainly appreciate all that they did for us. And then lastly, our FFA forestry team and their coach Murray Avery, state champions in FFA. Okay. So that was fantastic. Many other things, kind of significant. The board did approve our budget for 2022-2023, okay. and that did address some of the mandates from the legislature. Really excited to be able to provide some significant increases in pay for our staff, including a minimum of just over a 7% salary increase for all staff members. Also, the leveling of teachers, level 1, 2, and 3, those minimums went to 50, 60, and 70,000, and then finally a minimum $15 an hour wage for all other employees. Okay. So that was taken care of. And then, goodness, Mr. Phipps in his current role as Assistant Superintendent of Operations had many items to bring to the board for their consideration, and they were approved. One very exciting thing is design services for phase 1 of our career center, right. Which is, that was approved on Monday night.
For where the old tennis court.
That is correct. Phase 1 would be a new construction. Right now, the plan is for that to be a 2-story facility there where the existing tennis courts are at Artesia High School, and so our architects will be getting busy with getting the final plans together for that.
How exciting for all
it really is. And we've stressed for several years now how important it is for students not only to have that opportunity to become prepared for college, but also for a career, and we have a number of successful programs right now, and this is just going to enable us to enhance those offerings.
Now on the budget, of course, it's been a real challenge the last couple of years. I think the school district had to buy 8,000 laptops, and well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it probably was a significant number. Had all the improvements you had to do, the ventilation systems, everything else, in order to deal with COVID, in order to have the schools open. How did that affect the budget, and are positive, negative, surplus? What's it look like going?
Well, as far as we have had access, like other school districts, to federal dollars through the American Rescue Plan, and that funding continues to be available to us through the end of September 2024. And so that has certainly been used to take care of some of those things that you mentioned, and then also to try to maintain staffing levels at similar levels as they are right now, just to continue to get through this time. So that has been a significant help to us.
And that's helped make sure that the budget is good to go.
Correct.
for the future years. Well, that is great. We've got about a minute and a half left. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention?
Well, Gene, I was thinking on my way over here and looking back, about probably 2.5 years ago or so, and we started out when I took over as superintendent. We made a plan to visit monthly.
That's right.
We were going to be sure and be in here the second Wednesday of the month and have a visit with you. And I was thinking how when in March of 2020, you and I began talking weekly.
That's right.
And just excited that has continued. I know that we've involved some other of our administrators over the past couple of months, and so just have appreciated you giving us that opportunity to come and talk about our schools, and just want to encourage those out there, if they have questions about next year, have questions about what's going on right now, if they're making decisions for their kids, making decisions for their families, get in and visit with us. We would love to talk to you about anything that you're wondering about, any questions that you have, any concerns that you have. We're here to serve this community, and we just want to be open to those conversations if people would like to have them.
And the board has always been open. You've always been open. Everybody associated with the schools has always been open to have these conversations, which I think is a little different from some other places around the country. A lot of times we see what goes on around the country, and we think, well, is that happening here? Artesia schools are not like that.
We certainly don't want to be that way, and we certainly want to make sure that message is out there, that we're here to have those conversations with folks. And so, just like I said, just happy to serve our community and be a part of City of Champions.
Very good. Well, we appreciate all that you've done for the schools.
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to be retiring here in a few weeks.
In end of June.
End of
so
June.
We've got a little bit.
Right. So obviously, I'm not trying to.
No. That may not be a bad thing.
But we appreciate you and
Yes,
all that
sir.
you've done with the schools, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it.
John Ross Null.